The hinenum, the penis. We're talking about that today. We'll talk about the womb another day. But the power there, I don't know if if men today really understand the power of what they have there. I'm sure they understand that it provides sexual pleasure. I understand that they I mean, who doesn't know that? A kid, experiencing himself knows that, or finding himself knows that. So we're not talking about pleasure or sensation. We're not talking about that, okay? What we're talking about is the power behind that sensation. Okay? The power behind that feeling, that pleasure providing sensation. We're going to talk about what is happening, okay? When a man is experiencing an erection in our culture, the heart and the penis are aligned. Okay? Not only is the heart and the penis aligned when he's experiencing an erection, but when he has experienced an orgasm or when he has experienced an ejaculation, at that moment, there is a disconnection between both the heart and the penis. Okay? So let me run it back to you, okay? So when he's having an erection, when that erection is happening, okay, it could be early morning. It can happen as young as infancy. When he's experiencing that, both the heart and the penis are aligned. The heart is responsible for making sure that blood gets pumped throughout the entire body, and the blood is flowing throughout the entire circulatory system. And so you have this huge amount of energy. And when I say energy, we're talking about you have this huge amount of blood flow going to that area. And so that's what gives it that strong. It gives it that strong feeling that that lifting up that happens because of the amount of energy being sent to the male member, the amount of blood flowing to that member. And that is directly coming from the heart at that moment, okay? So we know already that the heart and the penis are aligned during the erection period, okay? During the erection period. And so the heart is working hard to send energy or to send blood flow to the male member, okay? Is working hard. And so increased heart rate happens. And so you find that his heart is beating. It is moving blood throughout the entire body and right there. And so you find that happen. Men who experience that, they can articulate what that feels like energetically, or what that feels like on a sensation level. They can feel their heart rate increasing. They can feel that happening. They can feel the increased circulation. They can feel what it feels like to have that. So all of that energy going right there, then of course leads to the next best thing. If they're able to have that moment, when a missional moment, okay, when both him and a woman are engaged in that act, and they are sharing that experience, okay, and he knows that that moment is about to happen. What makes it an amazing act to begin with is that the heart and the henonym are aligned, and when the ejaculation happens, there's a small disconnect that happens, because there's no need for the heart to pump as much blood flow to the penis. There's a large amount of energy being forced back up into the body and around throughout the entire body. So now the blood flow is being redirected, okay? This is why men need to really understand what they're doing when they're having sex. And and why I tell men that it's okay to hold on to your life force energy, that being your erection, that being your ejaculation. Hold on to your semen, hold on to your life force, because when you are giving it out just to everybody and you're every moment, you get a chance to experience pleasure. But there is a way to experience pleasure and an orgasm without an absolute ejaculation. There's a way for you to experience that level of intimacy and ecstasy without allowing your life force energy to escape from you, but for you to preserve it and reserve it, and to make sure that if in fact you are going to allow it to leave your body, that if you are procreating, give that to a woman that you find worthy. Give that, plant your seeds into a woman that you find that you'll be able to share that life journey with. The responsibility that men have to themselves, and also to those that they are engaging in the act, and their first responsibility is to themselves, and to understand that there is an actual physical workout happening within the body. And of course we say there's a lot of energy being exchanged, but that simplifies it. There's an actual physical workout happening internally in order for a man to experience that level of, that's another portal. When you ejaculate into a woman, you are sinning. You're sending your seed down the road into the portal. And then if your seed happens to make it there, and it penetrates the egg, and of course it fertilizes the egg, now there's a whole nother energetic exchange happening. But we'll save that for another video. In this video, I want men to understand that not only is it important to understand the physical workout that your body is having every time you get the energy to work up that level of having that erection and then having the ejaculation. That is a whole experience that it takes a lot of energy for your body to have that happen. Share this with you, sisters and brothers. The best part of it all for a man, the best part of it all is that moment between the disconnection of the heart and the penis. When that energy shuts off, there is a euphoric feeling that he's getting. There is a euphoric feeling that he's getting between the moment of the heart and the penis disconnecting. And so, because that flow is pumping through his brain, that is only a millisecond of energy that he's feeling. That feeling happens because of that moment. In our culture, when the heart stops during that moment, that is the best moment to caress your lover, to tell them how much you love them, to then give words of reaffirming. Because in our culture, the man dies. Ooh, he dies. Not in the sense that he dies as if he died, but the heart in our culture. I don't know if you guys know about this. I don't want to get too deep. I was about to get into how we preserved all of the organs after, before the embalming process. I don't want to get into all that, but the heart is put into a canopic jar, and why is the heart being put into it? What's the significance around that? Well, the heart is responsible for all of those. It's responsible for you living, right? You breathing, the heart stops, you're dead. So when that heart stops in our culture for the moment, essentially the male dies. He dies every time. Die when he has an ejaculation, but then he sends his seeds onward. So that moment of death, the seeds going outward, is supposed to be symbolic to the rebirth or the continuation on of who he is. His life force energy leaves him and moves onward. It moves onward to the egg and to reproduce, right? So essentially the male is dying every time he's having an ejaculation. And that's why, of course, in my books and so forth, I tell men to preserve that as much as you can. You can have an orgasm, you can have ecstasy, you can have all of those feelings, but save your life force energy. That Pope Francis, I don't know if we can find the Pope, put a picture up here, who was having an adulterous affair, and he died mid-stroke. He died mid-stroke. His heart couldn't even get to the point of ejaculation. Okay, there are, because there's not only do you need the physical stamina, but your heart has a lot of responsibility placed on it. So what I would like men to understand: dies mid-stroke, half-stroke, during or after ejaculation, understand that that is a heart, that is a heart um, issue. Okay, at some point the heart was not able to continue on that journey, and if men understood how important it is to take care of their heart and stop being led just by the physical sensations of what the penis is feeling, and understanding that if they can get their heart healthy, their sex life will be healthy. That is something I really want men to understand, both spiritually and holistically. Take care of your heart. Take care of your heart. Take care of your heart. The reason why I'm going to say that a million times is because in most cases, men, as they are aging, they start to develop other health complications, especially those that are related to the heart. And there's genetic factors and all of those things. But if you can avoid having heart issues as you are growing into your older years as a man, then you can prolong your experience with your hen and M. Okay, you can prolong your experience. And the reason why I say prolong is because as men age, of course, those health issues do come up, and so their aging wife is still wanting to feel pleasure. She's still wanting to have the same vitality that she remembers you had, but then really not really understanding that you are not there energetically as you once were, because your heart is not where it once was. So, if a man can understand that he's not going to be 100% full of vigor always, especially if he has, genetic issues, or if he has issues with his heart, he's going to struggle with understanding that it doesn't work like it used to. And so he's going to be dependent on drugs. He's going to be dependent on stimulants. He's going to be dependent on things that's going to help him rise to the occasion. But not understanding that whole idea of rising to the occasion is generally in our culture linked to the health of the male's heart. So that's why when in my classes, I remember I used to teach women how to cook heart healthy food for their man or for their mates. Cooking heart healthy food for their mates, they thought it was just because I wanted them to take care of, that whole idea of you're the first medicine woman in the house, or you're the medicine woman of the house. What you put on their plates will determine their health. That kind of thing that I used to run with. I should bring that theory back because it's really needed at this time. But feed your man heart healthy foods was also so that you can also get a really good confident male lover. Men are very confident when they're able to provide pleasure, and when they're also able to be pleased, and when they're also able to rise to the occasion. But there is something that happens to them. They lose a little bit of themselves because, number one, most of them identify with that part of themselves, right, most of their lives. And then life hits them hard when they're not able to perform like they're used to. And so there's a little bit of masculinity that is lost in understanding that it doesn't work the way it used to. And there's a little bit of masculinity that's lost when they can't do what they want to do. They might want to do it, but then they know that they can't because they're not able to perform. So from a holistic perspective, from a spiritual perspective, take care of your heart, men. Take care of your heart. It's extremely important. If you have circulatory problems, get them taken care of now. If you take care of your circulatory system, if you take care of your heart, if you are, and I'm not asking you to go out and start exercising and all of that right now. I'm not asking you to do that, because that again could also cause you some issues, okay? Especially if you are having some heart trouble, or if you're having health issues. I just want men to be more aware that if you treat your sex life as a way to just have as much sex as you want with as many beautiful women as you can, and then life hits you at a certain age with the inability to be able to to perform as you once was. It's going to be a huge wake up call for you. You are really going to experience a different level of what it you know of what it feels like to not be able to experience sex as you once was. That's a huge blow. That's a huge blow to anyone. So not only do you need to take care of your body, respect your body. Don't just give your seeds to anyone. Save your life force energy for yourself, because that's exactly what it is. In our culture, that is your life force energy. When you let it out and you give it to everyone and anyone, you are essentially giving out your life force energy, and you are spreading it far and wide. When you preserve your life force energy, you are essentially preserving your heart. You are essentially preserving your body. You're essentially preserving your energy, your vigor, your vitality. You are preserving that. But on another level, if you want to be able to experience pleasure well off into your old age, the one thing that you have to do is respect and understand that no matter how you feel, right? No matter how you feel, you have a responsibility to the organs in your body. Our ancestors told us that, right? They put it on the temple walls. You have a responsibility to take care of your body, because guess what? Those feelings that you are running to get from this girl to that girl to this girl to that girl to this girl to that girl, that is going to be short-lived, darling. Especially if you are experiencing some health issues, if you have genetic situations that maybe your grandma or your grandfather, heart disease running your family, those kind of things. Trust me, a young man who is giving out all of his life force energy now is a old man, depressed and angry in his early years. He's bitter. He's angry. You ever wonder why you come in contact with an angry old man who's bitter? He misses the vitality. He misses the feeling of experiencing that. He misses it. But men become angry and bitter old men because they miss having the vitality, the youthfulness of experiencing that moment. The only way that you can preserve it is if you understand how important it is and how it is a divine gift to be able to have that experience. And every time you have that experience, you're supposed to cherish it and honor it and save it for the moments that you really want to have it. It's not unlimited, young man, young boy. It is not unlimited, because you are depending on the health of your heart. Being able to depend on the energy flying throughout your system. You are depending on your body to work for you so that you can experience that level of pleasure. So it's not unlimited. You don't get an unlimited amount all the way up until death of that. Preserve it. Take care of your health. Take care of your heart. If you have genetic issues, if you're predisposed, if I can go on and on about ways to do that. But what I want you to get out of this all is that I don't care if you are 35, I don't care if you are 65. If your heart is not healthy, if your heart is not healthy, and you are going in there trying to perform to a woman who is 35 or 25 and she's ready to go, trust me, that workout your heart is not ready for. Until next time, I want you to be empowered, be inspired, and be well. Brothers, take care of yourselves now so that well into your old age, not only can you experience pleasure, but you can also give that to your wife. Bye.